welcome to Crate Talk. Today's guest is Eric Heath. He's the founder of Jits Grips. Eric, would you mind introducing yourself and telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, Eric Heath founded Jits Grips. What Jits Grips is it started out as a grip training device for people that do jujitsu, judo, other grappling arts, mixed martial arts, but it has since sort of expanded out into other um, markets or other reaches, and people are able to get the benefits of training like jujitsu champions, whether it is in CrossFit, other sports, just weightlifting in general. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. My background was I was a collegiate wrestler, did martial arts before that my entire life, Taekwondo, national champion, black belt. So always had a passion for martial arts. More recently, I had started a product development business and had some downtime and was just playing around with ways that I could improve my jujitsu game a little bit more because I wasn't as accustomed to training in a gi, which is the uniform,
Right.
and was just trying to sort of reverse engineer what it was, why I was having difficulties with the different grips and grip strength because um, I felt like my grip strength with using hand grips or thick bars was fine, but I noticed when I was trying to do smaller grips, here's a piece of the product here. When I was trying to make these grips like a sleeve grip or what's called an umbrella grip, pistol grip, or even just the collar grips on that gi material, I was really struggling. So essentially what I did was just remove the gi sleeves, which is what you have here, and then secure some commercial webbing to the top and place a metal D-ring on it and started off by using it with a resistance band with it, which it comes with, to practice some of the more
Just to kind of,
jujitsu. Yeah, exactly. Some of the more jujitsu specific movements, throws, and things like that. But then to take it to a more advanced level, removing the band, attaching it to pulley systems, kettlebells, pull-up bars, pretty much anything, and just saw a huge jump in my grip strength, whether it was grabbing the uniform or grabbing other things from training those more specific and smaller level grips.
nice. Yeah, definitely. Like I said last night, I was playing with it and felt a huge difference in. I could see how it would translate for someone who's a weightlifter and jujitsu, just because if you're lifting heavier weights or doing anything with that, like your hand is gonna get stronger using this material, using this product. And last night was definitely uh, wide awakening for how much I need to improve my grip strength.
Yeah, that's I mean that's the goal of it. It's really it's surprising, and it's surprising how little it takes, or how in terms of time, how how much you can gain in a very short amount of time because the muscles are just so underworked, and those ligaments and tendons are so underworked from just using traditional bars, or even if you use thick bars, it's just not the same uh, impact that you get from using the gi sleeves. And yeah, I mean, people have been really happy with the results. And it was kind of surprising to me because, like I said, when I developed this, it was very personal, very like niche market to jujitsu, and pretty much, I mean, from the first few weeks in, we saw that it was going to be a lot bigger picture than that because people from all across the spectrum were loving it.
And how did that happen? Did someone come to you and just like, man, I was doing pull-ups with this and lat pull downs and all kinds of different things with it, and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that, or did you just start playing with it?
Well, I had thought about it for sure because I mean I think that with the way that the sport of jujitsu in particular is growing, strength and conditioning now it's no longer optional. 10 years ago, you saw, I mean, you would see people that didn't even train full time. They could go in and win a world title, but now it's as the sport's progressed. I mean, you even at the blue belt level, it's hard to find someone who doesn't train full time every single day, and especially when you get up toward the brown and black belt level, all those guys have very strict strength and conditioning programs.
Hmm.
So I saw it going there. I was just more surprised. I would get contacted by people, or I'd be following up with people individually and asking, how their training was going. And I started seeing a lot of people didn't do jujitsu, and I was just, how did you come across it? And in markets like our California market, which is really pretty dense with jujitsu people. I guess they were seeing it at the gym, asking what it was, and ended up ordering just to try, and kind of grew from there. Then their circles would grow, and it just expanded into markets that were never really planned on, which was kind of a cool surprise.
Yeah, I mean, word of mouth is awesome, right?
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
So can you explain kind of like what's the benefits of using this, like overall um, throughout, I guess, like what's the benefits of having like a good grip overall, not just in jiu-jitsu, but through just weight training and then how that translates into everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a good grip is sort of like the foundation of any traditional or even new age strength program. I mean, with if you have a strong grip, you're just going to be able to go harder, last longer, lift more, uh, more reps, more weight, um, just more sets. It's sort of like the paramount of any strength and conditioning program. I don't think you're going to find anyone, whether it's in CrossFit and powerlifting, in martial arts, that would downplay the importance of a strong grip. And what this system allows you to do, whether you're using it with the resistance band, whether you're using it attached to kettlebells, pulley systems, whatever, it's just going to put that much more of an emphasis on the grips, allow you to get the results that much quicker. So whatever your end goals are, you're going to be able to reach them faster just because of this emphasis on specifically the different types of grips and the strength that you weren't really working on before.
Definitely. And so also, I didn't bring them in, but can you kind of explain a little bit of the tape and how that works and how people should use that?
Yes, so the tape is by tape and roll, and what it is, it's a quarter-inch cut of tape. Now, traditionally, athletic tapes come in uh, 1 inch rolls, maybe a half-inch rolls, and that's good for some sort of taping if you're going to tape your wrist or larger joints or your fingers together. But if you want to get smaller supports like in between each one of the joints, you really need it to be about a quarter-inch roll. That's about the size to wrap the finger. And so the tape and roll rolls come in a quarter-inch roll. So you're able to get these small joint supports, and it does really two things. The first thing is it supports the joints like traditional athletic tape. So you're able to, if you have any injuries or you're going to be doing a high impact type workout, the tape's going to help with that. But it also helps with when you're grabbing these sleeves, just like when you would put chalk on your hands to lift powerlifting. When you are grabbing the gi material, if you're not used to it, you can rub off the skin on the ends of your fingers, and you get calluses in a pretty quick way, just in different areas. And tape helps with that a lot as well. And until you sort of can get your fingers conditioned to grabbing this material, the tape can be a big benefit there as well.
Nice. And so, I guess what workouts you recommend for someone who's doing like a training or CrossFit? Like any in particular that people have said have like really seen great improvement from using it? Any particular workouts that you say are like key for this?
I think at the end of the day, it just depends on what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. Most of the time I'm dealing with people uh, in terms of customizing the workout if they're doing jujitsu, so it's going to be a lot of pull exercises. I would say no matter what you're trying to do, just get as sport specific as possible to what you want to accomplish. And if it's a more general type workout just for fitness, then add them to everything that you're currently doing, especially pulling exercises, deadlifts, farmers walks, lat pull downs, seated rows. more advanced things like kettlebell swings. And keep in mind that the different grips you can do. Let's say we just take a basic lat pull down. From that, using a lat pull down machine, we can grip it like this in an umbrella grip, a pistol grip. You have more of a traditional sleeve grip, or what's called like a collar type grip. In terms of difficulty, I think this would be the easiest for everyone to start with. You grab it sort of like a rope. Then probably the pistol is the next easiest because you're able to use that big meaty part of your hand to grip. After that, you'll go into a sleeve type grip, which is a lot more finger and top of the hand grip strength. And then finally, the most difficult grip would be an umbrella grip where you're grabbing with the tips of your fingers
Uh,
inside the sleeve like this. And that one is really, really tough and very small joints to grab. Not really getting to use the big meaty parts of the hand, which have been strengthened by most people from grabbing bars and things like that over time. So
nice.
um, you can take where I was going with that is one workout like a lat pull down or a kettlebell swing. You can change it up in 4 different variations just by grabbing it differently. So I think that's another neat thing to play around with is see kind of where your baselines are at the beginning, what grips you're strong at now, what grips you're not, and then just work the strengths and weaknesses together. But you can really customize and change up workouts a lot, and um, you know, in my experience, and I think in a lot of other people's experience, you get really good results when you kind of keep your body guessing,
Oh yeah.
when you don't fall into a routine, when you don't your workouts aren't predictable, and this is going to allow you to really shake things up in terms of what your body's expecting and what your body's used to, and it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I definitely love the fact that you can do the farmer carries. It's one of my favorite workouts. So when I saw that, I was like, that is awesome. And the fact is, a lot of things that I was kind of talking to some people when I was shooting the videos and photos last night was, you know, you can take these with you anywhere, right? You can take these with you to a hotel. Most hotels have dumbbells or a kettlebell or something along those lines, and you can do farmer walks there. You can do kettlebell swings there. You can even do a kettlebell swing with a dumbbell with these. And I thought that was really awesome. And then, noticing how bad, I was demonstrating with 135 a deadlift with these, and I was using the umbrella grip, not knowing the names of the grips. And man, that was rough. I was like, oh, it's only 135, but I was like, wow, that is heavy on my hands. I had to end up changing to the collar grip just to be able to do it. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we have of pull-up challenges, and if you could do 10 pull-ups using an umbrella grip, you would get a free pair. And said I never had to give a pair away,
Yeah.
and I think a few people would get around 5, but it's just it changes everything. And even doing them with the easiest grip, grabbing like a collar grip like you would a rope. I mean, that's still just way more difficult because you can't really do. A lot of times if you're working with a bar and you're doing a pulling exercise, you can sort of regrip on the down pull.
Hmm.
When you use this gi material, you don't have that opportunity to do that. And it's was made this size for a reason. It's about the size of most people's hands underneath the strap, so there's not a lot of room to slip off or anything like that. You make your grip and it needs to hold,
That
and
gi material is surprisingly strong. I mean, you have videos on your website of people pulling a truck and cars, and it's impressively strong material.
yeah. I mean, just judo, jujitsu, sambo, these grappling arts that are predominantly based on the different grips and pulling of this material. It's a reinforced, really heavy duty cotton fabric. And then at the top, we used commercial grade seatbelt webbing,
Nice.
and then the metal D-ring at the top. So it's a durable product. Reinforced cuffs at the bottom. I mean, so it'll hold up to just about whatever you can throw at it, which is uh, is good.
So what kind of products do you have coming down the pipeline with this?
I think with the product roadmap right now, we're looking at just using different resistance bands. So the one that comes with it right now is it's a lighter gauge latex band, and it was specifically made for practicing guard work and things like that in jiu-jitsu. And since it's grown and a lot more people are using it for just general strength and conditioning now, there's been a higher demand for heavier gauge, fabric coated, almost like battle ropes and heavy gauge resistance bands to do different workouts, a lot of like circuit trainings that incorporate the real heavy duty resistance bands or ropes. I think that's really the next step that I see this going, and that what is actually being worked on at the moment is just prototyping different bands, testing the lengths, resistance levels, and things like that. So that's for sure going to be the next thing that's going to be offered with the Jits Grips is going to be just different band options. And then we've looked at suspension training systems, either partnering or coming out with an own version of suspension training that would work good for this accessory, the sleeve accessory.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Actually,
so I mean,
when it comes to resistance bands, last night I was trying to do bicep curls with it because I mean this is a pretty stout band in itself. It's just too short to do like upright rows or a bicep curl with. So yeah, that'd be cool if you could, because I mean to do bicep curls with a pretty thick resistance band on this and using this material, talk about grip strength and really focusing on like that brachial if you're a bodybuilder and things along those lines. This would be great for that.
yeah, and even just the different variations and impact points you get by switching the grips with just something like a curl. You've got like the hammer curl motion, then you can switch it to the pistol grip coming up with the sleeve, and then even if you try to curl it holding an umbrella grip,
Yep.
it's going to hit your forearms a different way, it's going to hit the bicep a different way. So I think it's going to be great.
When you talk about the different grips you can use with it, I instantly was thinking bodybuilding because they're all about angles and isometric focusing, developing a certain curvature of the bicep or your chest or anything like that. And the more grips and angles you can give someone who's in bodybuilding, the happier they are because they
Right.
can focus on those type of things. So I mean, I don't know how many bodybuilders are using it, but I'm sure when they find out they can do that, they're going to be all over it.
Yeah, I haven't. I've talked to some like guys that do like the strongman things, and they're all about them. There's actually some people in Germany who have a yearly grip training or grip championships, and this is going to be the Jits Grips are going to be incorporated in this coming year's championships for their grip strength title, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so see how that goes, and they videotape it or have a video production crew every year, so I'm excited to get a hold of that footage.
Man, that's exciting. That's awesome. So I guess kind of like talking a little bit more about training. How did you get started in training? Like, how did you get started in jiu-jitsu and kind of evolve into where you're at?
Yeah, so since I was maybe 5 years old, I had been doing martial arts. Started with karate at the YMCA and moved into Taekwondo, and then probably around early high school or middle school, even before high school, got into judo, which is a grappling martial art, and sort of just fell in love with that. Just had a natural affinity for grappling. It came really naturally. Moved high schools my junior year and took up wrestling because there wasn't judo, and caught on really quickly to wrestling. Won a state title. Went to college to wrestle at a Division I school, and there really got the importance of strength and conditioning. I had done some weightlifting in high school with wrestling, but had never really gotten into sport specific or real functional workouts. It was
Mhm.
more just kind of like general lifting. So the college experience opened my eye to the importance of not only strength and conditioning, but making it functional to what you're doing. And during the off seasons in college, I would work takedowns with a lot of fighters, and they were mostly had like Muay Thai, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu backgrounds. And I was working with them during the wrestling, and my judo, I knew about some submissions and things like that, so it was just sort of a natural transition to as I was working with them on takedowns, got back into jiu-jitsu. Had moved overseas. I lived in Peru for a while, and so it was a little bit limited at that time about what I could do in terms of jiu-jitsu, but they had a grappling martial art called uh, Lucha Libre,
Oh yeah.
which is it's kind of like a no-gi grappling type thing, and was doing that to stay in shape and just for fun. When I came back to the United States about 3 years ago, I ended up coming across a guy named Samuel Braga, who was a six-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, and was just, like I've grappled with so many different people, and I didn't feel like there was many new positions I could learn, or um, just almost that not in arrogance, but I just didn't think there was that much more I could know. And within 10 minutes of rolling with him, with working with him, it was just like, wow, I don't know anything. And a lot of that was because it was in a gi. It was training in a gi, which I didn't have experience with, and so that's just kind of gone from there. I got obsessed with it. I was traveling a lot for work, and needed a way to practice without it, and that kind of tied into developing the product to help make those gains when I wasn't able to train in person, and just sort of kind of like hack into how I could improve better and what the real key was, and to go into like even a more jujitsu dork level. I was looking at like the top guys, and it was crazy because there wasn't a body type, there wasn't a skill set. Um, they were all the top guys in jujitsu. They all were different. They had different body types, different skills, different strengths. Some were flexible, some weren't. Some were strong, some were thin. I mean, some were tall, some were short. But they all of them, like every single one, the one factor they had in common was the grips, their grip strength, the grip accuracy, the endurance. And it was almost like after you watched a few of their matches, you could tell like once they got the grips they were looking for, they didn't let them go, and normally it was done. Like the match was going to be, they were either going to score or get a submission. And I thought that was, at that time it was just kind of a working theory, but it turned out that yeah, that was pretty accurate. I mean, without the grips, there really is nothing else. You could have everything else perfect, be able to do it perfect in practice, but if you can't get the grips that you need to execute, nothing else matters.
I
And
can see that with all the pulling. And Andres is a fighter, and so
yeah,
and I'm like, what are they doing? Like, you have the videos with them pulling on the pole, and I'm like, is he doing bicep curls? I'm more of the weightlifter guy, so he's trying to like, oh no, this is all about pulling from a gi here and then pulling out here, and it's like it's really important to be able to grab that gi and have that strength. And I was like, that's awesome.
yeah, and these things being the actual dimensions of a gi sleeve, apart from working the strength and the endurance, but you do get that accuracy as well. And we talked about like not being able to regrip, but a lot of times you get just one quick snatch at it, and if you're grabbing with two fingers or you get just the corner of the last two, you've got to work with what you get. So it gives uh, it gives you that opportunity to just work, I guess, grips that aren't ideal, or that you wouldn't prefer to have, because you don't get that chance to like really get a strong,
Yeah.
solid, like multiple setup on it. It's kind of like grip and go, and hope that you have the endurance and strength to hold on.
Oh yeah, definitely can see that. And so, being an entrepreneur now and doing this, what keeps you motivated to stay training? A big thing at StrengthCrate is we're trying to keep people motivated and just kind of say, hey, you can train on your terms. Don't let anything stop you. So, what kind of keeps you going and allows you to keep training and stay motivated?
Um, Man, I don't know. I truly love jujitsu. I love fitness. I always have. It's motivation has never been too hard. I've gone through slumps now and then, but especially now, I get a lot of joy and reward from hearing from people, customers, people that are fans of the product, that are using the product, new ways they're using it. I mean, every day someone's sending me a new video, a photo, or just sending an email about either how the Jits Grips have helped them, a new way they're using it that I just never thought of, and it's just, I mean, or a new area that I never thought that could benefit from it. So for me, that motivates me just to keep going with the product, and to just get back on the mats and try new things. And yeah, I think it, I've never had a motivation to personally, a difficulty staying motivated to personally train, but it's kind of gone to a whole different level since Jits Grips has started over the last couple of years with just the interaction with people and hearing the stories. And because it's anytime you you put yourself out there as an entrepreneur, as bringing a new product to market, you kind of really you make yourself vulnerable. And for me, I was super, super, super cautious for this thing to even grow that big because I cared more about martial arts than I did about the business succeeding. And I didn't want to rush anything without knowing, 100% that it was going to help people, that it was going to do what I said it was going to do, that it was going to last like I said it would last, that people could use it like I said they could use it. So it grew we restricted growth on it like a lot, until literally like I had hundreds of written testimonials. And until that point, I just didn't feel, and I still get nervous when big orders come through, and that's just kind of how I'm wired. But I think that was a good thing in hindsight because the quality it's probably over the top in terms of the materials that are used, the stitching patterns that are used. It's solid.
Personally, when I first saw these and opened them, I was like, wow. Like, I was serious. The impression I got with the quality just blew me away. Andres always talks about, like, the gi material is very expensive material, but then you look online and the pictures don't do the thickness of this band justice or the material that's used, and like you said, the stitching along the line. So when you look at it online and you're like, oh, okay, I can see that, and you're like, okay, $40, but then you go and buy it and you're like, oh, okay, now I see where that's coming from. Like, I see how it all kind of comes together, and the quality of it's extremely impressive. So I like to let you know from the packaging, right from you opening the packaging, you can see where you've put a lot of quality and a lot of time into building this product.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's still get nervous when it goes out, but it's nice to the reinforcement is always a good thing. And
so quick plug then, just so everyone knows, and most people who will be watching this are subscribers, but this is going to be in September StrengthCrate for basically focusing a lot around grip, and we'll also be having the tape rolls as well. And we're excited to have this and see what some people say, and hopefully get you guys some good feedback and people coming over to your store and getting some more good stuff and telling all their friends about it as well. You want to let everyone know kind of where they can find you guys and social media, websites, emails, things along those lines?
yeah, so the name of the company again is Jits Grips. It's JITSGRIPS. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Jits Grips. Our website, www.jitsgrips.com. Instagram at Jits Grips. Twitter at Jits Grips. So just remember the Jits Grips name, and you'll find us. We've got a lot of our Instagram has training clips. Our YouTube channel, Jits Grips. You can find extended training videos. Facebook, we post a lot of Q&A and some longer videos as well. And we also have a lot of fun with stuff. We do a lot of jiu-jitsu related, workout related memes and things like that, and jokes. So it's have a lot of interaction. People have a lot of fun on there. I mean, we work hard, but we play hard too. So it's always awesome to have new people engage with us online and share content, share workout ideas, share jokes, and have a lot of fun doing it.
That's awesome. Well, we'll also put all that in the show notes below, so there's links directly to your sites and social networks, so everyone can kind of get to take a look at it for themselves and go from there.
That sounds great. Yeah, and we're super excited to be a part of StrengthCrate too. I always I liked the concept of the subscription boxes and things like that, but it didn't seem like anyone was really nailing it until I met you guys, and I just love that your boxes are filled with things that have value and have use, not samples or trinkets or like stickers and stuff. It's actual things that can be used and are real products, and I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome that you found a way to make it work, and I know it's only going to grow. And I mean, you're killing it already in a lot of markets, and I think jujitsu is it's still at like the early levels, but when when people find out about this, I have a feeling that a lot of jujitsu athletes and a lot of grapplers are going to jump on board because it's you guys are onto something, and I
Well,
think it's
appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, and that's I'm glad that you said that because it's not really just the CrossFit box or the powerlifting box. We're the strength box, right? We're there to give you, for jujitsu, because like you said, there's a lot of athletes who train and they train intensely. If you've ever watched the UFC people fighter go ahead and train before they go to during their camps, there's intense training there. And same with bodybuilders. There's a lot of things that we put in that can do that. And we try to avoid all the fluff, right? That's what we try to say,
right.
no fluff. Give you the real good, high quality premium products. And we always say that, we tell vendors like yourself that one of our big things is we're going to include high quality products with your products, so that way when people see StrengthCrate as a premium brand, they see you as a premium brand as well, and that's kind of what we really want to do, and that way our customers are getting the best they can get.
Right. Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your time, and thank you for everything you guys have done to help us, supply some videos and talking with me about it, and educating our customers, and we'll make sure that this gets out so everyone can kind of learn more about it.
Yeah, that sounds great, and we'll keep said we'll make sure that there's plenty of videos out, plenty of footage, workout ideas, blog posts. So we'll have everyone will be on the same page and have all the resources that they need for to get the best results and help them accomplish whatever their goals are.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you guys, you have a good one.